Hi, how are you guys? I hope that you guys are doing well. One of the key things that I wanted to discuss today is in regards to the engagements that I have been having with the United Nations as the Africa Nations Youth Delegate, and the key issues that I picked. And today I just wanted to cover one, and this is the aspect of how do we move from having conversations, just sitting in conferences. I know it's quite important because at this is the point where we are developing different documents. We are developing key strategies and key development policies that are going to help in terms of building different blocks when it comes to aspects of development. But one of the key things that I really wanted us to look into is the aspect of context. How do you bring the context of Africa when it comes to these particular discussions? There's a really huge disconnect between those who go to do the presentations or representations of young people in these particular spaces and those that are doing actual groundwork that are the community. How do we move away from the aspect of having the work, understanding, I know what are the solutions for the community members, into looking at it in the aspect of can we go to the community members? Can they build the solutions that they want? And how do I, as a representative, move from whatever context I've gotten on ground in this particular issue towards what what is the context of the different document or policy structures or different frameworks that we are going to develop. And I always give a really quite example. I know it's going to be a little bit of a controversy, but if you're looking at the aspects of climate change in Africa, how do we move from just planting trees into which is the specific tree we're planting? Where is it being planted? Who are the specific people who are being impacted, especially those who are in the agricultural sector? And what are the specific, or what is the context when it comes to them understanding what climate change is and for them participating and taking part in terms of whatever solution that you are building. So whatever makes sense in different countries, or especially countries that are outside Africa, sometimes doesn't make sense when it comes to countries that are in Africa. So how do we build this particular context? And for young people who are going to do this representation, the question is: are you representing the interests of the community members that you're building these particular solutions to, or are you there for the political reasons? Either whatever your country wants, or whatever the people or the elite or people who are at the higher level want. Because when we talk about sustainable development, we are talking about ownership. How do people at community own whatever you are trying to build? How are you building context and understanding so that young people who are at community that you are representing can understand, be part of that particular journey that you are walking through? So how are we moving from boardrooms into places of action? Number two, how are we identifying young people who are doing actual work on ground so that they can be the representatives in these particular spaces? Because the arguments that they bring up, the context that they bring up is actually what is going to be impactful in specific communities. So for every young person who is hearing and joining me today is how do we make sure that when it comes to discussions, when it comes to development, there's not just the aspect of representation, but the aspect of meaningful representation, the aspect of whatever mandates or demands we are developing. There's an aspect of follow up. There's an aspect of community development. There's an aspect of us moving away from the mentality of please help us, please give us what these are the resources that we have, and this is how we want to build these particular resources so that as other people are coming in, they are joining us in whatever we have already built, and they're joining the context of they're going to be coming in the aspect of what we have already started building. So I think for me, the call to action is how do we now start having conversations amongst young people, not only just those who are well versed with the documents, well versed with the language, but well versed in the aspect of action, impact. So I'm calling to every young person across Africa. Can we start having discussions in this particular area? Can we start building collaborations in terms of building our own kind of systems and infrastructure, so that when we are having discussions at a global level, we're not having discussions in the basis of us begging them to build these particular infrastructures or systems, but we have already built them. Whatever we need is them to add to whatever we have built, so that we are not acting in silos, but we're acting together in terms of building this particular system. Thank you.